bench press, and Gala running our alternate settings, the random start with random starting items. Should be a good one. Gala is one of our resident champions in our weeklies, and Herc's been participating and running some races on his own, so should be able to put a competent fight. We've also got Words, another weekly regular, as well as Meepy joining us in the race. They won't be seen on race stream here, but got a good turnout. And we are just getting the rest of our racers ready, and then we'll be kicking off momentarily. If you've got any questions in the chat, I will be reading them, so please let me know what you'd like to know, and I'll do my best to pass down my knowledge. Also let me know if audio and stuff is good. We'll try to keep that balance throughout the run. It looks like our racers are ready though, so we will be kicking them off. So it'll just be a few seconds behind. So yeah, random starts at any of the save stations, and I believe it's 1 to 2 random starting items. That just helps us expand the amount of valid start locations that we've got available to us at the beginning. With 0 starting items, you're guaranteed to be pretty early on, so this helps shake things up a little bit, and as well speed us up. But hopefully we get what the racers probably want is an A2 start. That's usually the best, just due to the amount of checks available, as well as the warp to start mechanic, putting us right beside the labs shortcut. So it's very powerful if we can get that start there. It's not the most exciting for us viewers, but you know, we'll take what we can get. And we've got lower, what is that? The kind of the middle of main caves. Not too bad of a start. Starting items, I don't believe we got any extra starting items. So going to be kind of a dangerous climb here. I believe Gala's got the right idea going down here. I believe I know there's some health requirements going down this path that Herc's in. So I think, yeah, it's safe to head this way into Tower. I believe there's only one check we've got in logic at the moment down there, which is the free item at the bottom, and that is screw attack. So that's major. Hopefully Herc can turn around. It's not the most obvious to know to go back here instead of taking the forwards path. You'd think you want to just rush the early areas, but unfortunately it's not the case. Because yeah, that screw attack's going to give Gala a massive movement advantage here, as they'll be able to use all of the pipes. Oh, and immediately finding speed booster. So yeah, that movement advantage is just going to increase even further. Very good routing by Gala, and unfortunately, for Herc, that's every second he doesn't have speed boost, and Gala's got it. Gala's just going to be gaining even more of a lead. It's just screw and speed allow us to access so much of the game, and it's so powerful of movement options that it will keep us moving. Tower Gamma Nest West. Okay, so that's the one above the sand. So we have 10 DNA required, and they're all on Metroids. We have several hints scattered throughout the various areas that will tell us where the DNA are. So we know where one is. On Herc's side, entering A2, found the first progressive jump. So that is really handy. Of course, a lot of vertical movement in this game, so high jump coming in will definitely help. Should be noted, we have progressive jumps on, so we will need to find both jumps to get our space jump. Back on Gala's side, looking in the fat croc room with that speed booster, finds the first progressive suit. Just like progressive jumps, we have progressive suits, meaning that we have to find both of them to get our gravity suit. So that's a very nice 50% damage reduction for Gala off the start, at least. Very not the most useful thing in terms of like physical requirement unlocks, but 50% damage reduction is nothing to scoff at. So no bombs for either player, so a lot of these lower Area 2 checks will not be available. But due to the high concentration of checks, it's usually a good idea to visually check these early. They don't take too much time, and it allows you to know if you have to come back later. There we go, finding the plasma beam in high jump chamber. Again, not doing a ton for us logically, but will make the queen fight a lot easier, as we'll be able to farm the green goo and get our drops. Won't have to worry about ammo conservation nearly as much. And Herc taking the high jump boots into Breeding Grounds 2. Hey, welcome in. Yeah, if you've got any questions, we're running AM2R powered by Randovania. So a few different settings offered there. Gala on his way to the Ice Beam hint. Ice Beam, of course, will be required every seed to get past these larva Metroids. Seeing that it's in main caves, not a great hint, unfortunately. There's quite a few bad spots that can be in. Namely like some of the lower sections, as well as the mines section counts as main caves, so those two, the Gamma and Alpha, locked behind the super missiles. So it's quite possible that we see an Ice Beam down there. There's our first Metroid DNA, one of 9 required. So the DNA, there are blocks in the labs section before the larva Metroids. No, don't worry about dragging down the mood. It's simple answer. It's totally safe to stream. No concerns there. Twitch has its own AM2R category. It's fine. You're good. We're good. Don't worry about it. Anywho, back on to the focus. Gala going to be picking up that high jump soon on his way out of Area 2. And yeah, if you're new, please feel free to check out AM2R-RTV. There you go. There's our schedule as well as our Discord, where you can find the application we use to randomize this. There is a built-in randomizer, but Randovania comes with some additional options. You know, door lock rando, pipe rando, some additional fun items like speed booster upgrades, and what else have we got? Much more. There's a lot of configuration, so definitely check out Randovania. It also supports a bunch of the Prime games, and Dread, and Cave Story, and Samus Returns, and more coming to build near you. Oh yeah, and Multi-World. Yeah, that's right. Multi-World's a big thing that Randovania supports. So yeah, check it out. It's good times. We're here every Saturday doing a variety of presets. This is our alternate one, so as I mentioned at the beginning, it's random start and a few random starting items, give or take. Just gives us a little bit of an interesting beginning. So yeah, using the warp to start mechanic, Herc is coming back to kind of the central area and main caves, and is going to be heading down towards Tower now, which is good because this is the logical path that I think we're supposed to take. Yeah, so for a reference, I think there was some. I think the logic to climb was what's it called? I think there's some combat logic that starting off with 0 E-tanks we can't satisfy, so going down right off the bat was the correct answer. And unfortunately, her warping back to start, so not going to be finding that screw attack that's down there in Tower. Unfortunate. And there's one of our speed booster upgrades. Each one reduces the time speed booster takes to charge by a few frames. Not a huge deal for the first one, but once you get to like 2 or 3, you can really start to feel the impacts. But even though Herc doesn't have screw attack, still able to do a lot of checks here. Heading to Area 1 is a very good decision. Actually heading towards the surface alpha first. Yeah, so this alpha is like always in logic, so it's good to check it. People have hot dogged important progression there before. But yeah, Golden Temple has a lot of free checks, so heading this way first is not bad. Gala opting to take Speed Booster into Area 3. Just kidding. Is going to take the pipe, maybe thinking about Alpha Squad. Nope, gonna take the pipe to Area 1. Cool. So yeah, like I said, lots of free checks out here. Do have a couple that are bomb locked, but not enough that it's not worth coming here. Plus, our bombs are here in Charge Beam Chamber. Very good. So with that, Gala pretty much has like almost the entire game open. There aren't going to be too many roadblocks at this point. Other than, you know, there's what? Gravity and Ice Beam and Supers are like the 3 main things that are going to unlock more checks for us. Power Bombs don't do a ton. It's like Spider Ball basically does nothing at this point. Yeah. Finding bombs here definitely powerful. Which is actually good for Herc, because Herc will find bombs and on this path that he's taking right now, and we'll be able to do some cleanup. So even though he's missing out on some core things, is not being severely punished just due to the open nature of this game. Of course, losing some just time on general movement due to that speed booster difference, but not too bad. As long as we're moving, that's the important part. Yeah, if you're interested in racing, we do community races, and we do these weekly races. We like getting people into racing, so please feel free to join the Discord server, chat here. Even if you're not into racing but you like watching races, you can join me on comms sometime. We like volunteers. Just have to know a little bit about the game, can talk about what the racers are doing, and you know, fill the gaps in the silence. So now Gal's going to be making his way out of Area 1, probably going to grab Breeding Grounds 1 and then Guardian, and then make his way back down main caves. I definitely thought that as well. The patterns of the Metroids, especially the flying ones, can be a pain. With practice, they get consistent. I started off with just missile spamming in a corner because I was having my own skill issues. But once you practice and try to play fast, you learn the patterns, get some help, get some directions from people who do know what they're doing. They can be pretty fast, especially when you get supers, and most of them just take 2 supers to kill. Very nice. So that's Spring Ball and Breeding Grounds 1. We also had 2 Alpha Squad DNA, so that's really good. That'll clean up nicely. What else? What else? Yeah, it should also be noted with the really thorough logic we have in Randovania. The settings that we have on today are mostly beginner trick levels, so like beginner wall jumps and stuff. That means you're only expected to wall jump like once or twice. You won't be forced to wall jump up the tower with a no high jump or no space jump. It also, one of the more important things though is due to our combat levels, we won't have to fight Zetas or Omegas without supers. So we know that that's a location that supers can't be, so we don't have to waste our time with them. That being said, if supers aren't required, we might choose to fight them with missiles if our DNA is on there. But that's generally slow, so we try to avoid that as much as possible. And there's our Ice Beam, so that is free. Herc will be able to pick up that on his way by. Gala trying to utilize some of these buffered power grips to climb the room. Didn't quite peek it on my end, but I don't think it's very important because Gala is out of there. And typically these races probably last around the 45-minute to hour 10 mark, somewhere in there. This one seems to be going really smoothly. I wouldn't be surprised if Gala's got like the 40 in mind if these DNA cooperate. We find supers at a decent time, I guess. But usually our practiced runners are doing like around the hour mark. Is a fairly good time. That being said, everyone starts somewhere. I remember my first seeds were taking me, 2 hours or so to complete. So the key is to start playing, start learning, start practicing. Yeah, Gala's been killing it in the weeklies. Is also, I think, the record holder in 100%, so has speed running experience of this game as well. So the movement is really showing. Definitely a tough competitor to beat, but it ain't over till it's over. Yeah, the lack of screw attack and speed booster is really costing Herc, which is unfortunate given how early they're on. It's been Gal's pretty much had them for the full 16 minutes, so has had a coupled with the speed running experience, having the items to actually do the tech makes this makes Gal a very scary runner to be against. Probably not. Oh, interesting. Gonna go back for the spider ball. Not a ton of uses for it, but a short 2-second detour isn't too bad. Well, we'll take it just in case. Trying to think of a scenario where we really need it. But again, better safe than sorry. So yeah, Herc's gonna follow down this main caves path, and we'll find Ice Beam. We'll be happy for that. Gonna probably infinite bomb jump up here. Let me take another peek at what's there. Nice, doing the fast bomb jumps. I still have yet to find out that timing. Gala going to be cleaning up Brooding Runs 2. At this point, I think Gala's got to be focusing on hints. And there's our second progressive jump, so that is space jump for Gala. That's an unfortunate one for Herc since he did Brooding Rounds 2 very early. We did have high jump, so it was put that area in logic, but I believe in a previous race of his he missed going back for that check, so while space jump is usually not hard required, it is a very nice to have, so if he gets it, that would be great. And it looks like he's kind of doing a beeline for it, so maybe. Has a few other checks in Area 2 that bombs could be useful for. There's a place in not Meridia sector that needs spider. Gotta imagine you're thinking of distribution center, the water level of AM2R. There is one place that requires, in quotes, spider, but there are various tricks that we can do to bypass that. We can use power grip, we can use spring ball. There's a couple of options, so while not hard required, yes, there is an area that you are correctly thinking of. And that is the intended solution for the puzzle. So with this, where does Gala go? So yeah, I think Herc's seeing this all for the first time, so definitely a good time to do this with bombs. And yeah, we come this way first so that you can see the right side of this basement room without having to waste time bombing the blocks. We also pass by all these items on the first pass so that you can see if they're worth, because that E-tank down there, if it's like just some missiles, it's a very long tunnel to go back and forth, so usually we skip it if it's something not worth it. Yeah, like we're seeing here. So yeah, going that kind of counterclockwise loop is really strong. Gala just taking the easy way and just tanking the damage. Kill this Gamma. This one is a pain. But there's another one of our Metroid DNA. We've got, what, 3 hints remaining, I think, that we can go for. And it'd definitely be smart on Gala's end to start prioritizing them, due to the fact that, oh, there's main power bombs. Due to the fact that, you know, we're getting pretty full on items, but I think, no, we don't have any reason to go into mines right now, so supers just might not be required. But if you're watching and you're not familiar with Randovania, we have required main missiles, super missiles, and power bombs. So you have to find a specific upgrade in order to use them. You can't just use any of the power bomb tanks or super missile tanks that you find earlier. It's a lot easier to read the logic this way to find out which way when you start to become required to use some of those items, and it's easy to tell on their player UI. You can see on Herc's doesn't have super launcher or power bomb launcher, but Gala does, so there's no big red X there. That is configurable if you feel like you want to play with expansions granting the power to use them immediately. You may do so. Randovania is highly configurable. But I personally think that the main items being required is much better. And beautiful, Herc is going to grab that space jump. We'll be really happy to see that he got that this time. Very nice. So yeah, now really needs to take the path down to tower. Curious to see where he's going to route to next. Because yeah, he's leaving, unfortunately, a few major items on the table that Gallus had access to for quite some time. But not crazy far behind if we look at the tracker. Like, I mean, there's a lot of items in tower, so hopefully you can find them pretty quickly. But given the way he's going, I want to say he's not thinking about tower yet. On Gala's side, we are back in Distribution Center. I believe this is an Alpha Squad play, as well as a hint. Taking the pipe saves a transition a little bit faster. So there's our Elder Septog, or Wisdom Septog, there we go. Upter Factory Gamma Nest we can get, and I missed the other one. Another Alpha Squad, so we got 3 DNA on Alpha Squad, so... Just gonna go in and spam some missiles in the corner, as is tradition. There's one. Big health drop. DNA, and what's the last one we got for us? Powerbomb tank. So yeah, with the DNA, that's again configurable. For races, though, we do like... we find that 10 DNA is pretty good for these settings in terms of length of time. So instead of having to fight all 46 Metroids, you only have to fight 10 of them. That, of course, doesn't hide the fact that Metroids can just have items like your Screw Attack or Wave Beam. So you might choose to do some extra Metroids as checks. But again, configurable. If you want to fight all 46, you can crank the DNA up to 46. You can also have the DNA shuffled anywhere onto any check. That's Super Launcher. That's amazing. So Herc's actually going to find that pretty soon, which, again, like, Herc's still moving, Herc's still finding items. Just with the speed booster diff, it's adding up. But yeah, you can also place DNA on bosses as well as Metroids, so yeah. It's up to you. Play the game how you want. That's the thing that I keep trying to hammer home, is like, it's very configurable. Just because you see something in our races that you might not feel is for you, you can change it in your own presets. But with our testing we've done, this is like pretty good for races. Community seems to like these kind of settings. We've also got a few different weeklies that we do. Next week, I believe, is Pipe Rando? Yes. No. Next week is Door Lock. So the doors will be... we'll have random shields on them. We've got all sorts of shields. You know, your wave beam, spazer, screw attack doors, bomb doors, super missile doors, all sorts of doors are going to be open. And then the week following, we have pipe rando, so our pipes will be shuffled and they will go to random spots, and it will cause some chaos for the runners because they won't know where they're going. But yeah, with super missiles in tow, Gala's definitely going to be prioritizing those hints. We've only got 3 left, so we get a hint here. Mines, Genesis Arena. Yeah, that's nice. So I believe that's our go mode. Gala needs to do the upper factory alpha or gamma. And then we've got those 2 that we just saw, which I immediately forgot. One is Genesis. So yeah, we're going to be wrapping up here shortly with the seed. It's pretty much solved. So Mines, Gamma Nest, and Thoth. So probably going to do both Metroids here if we didn't have a third DNA hint. Yeah, I just can't remember what that last one is. Very, very quick gamma kill. And keeping the speed keep the entire time. Okay, so must be confident. He's got all the hints. Gal's gonna get out of here. Probably hit up Genesis now. And I believe it's our last hint. I don't think research station's been checked. Must have been. Map is blue. Unless I just missed this one. Very nice, sparking up the elevator, saving us some time. How much time? I don't really know. Fun little zip there. Too complicated for me to explain, but you jump off the door when it opens and you shoot to the other side of the map. Is the gist of it. Good old Genesis jam. So yeah, getting a lot of these super hits in. You can be really safe and use power bombs for the entire fight, but it's rather slow, so we don't like slow, so we try to use our supers as efficiently as possible. Yeah, fusion difficulty will definitely also do that. We have our races, we conduct them on normal, unless someone wants to unless all racers were to agree to play on a different setting. But we have never ever had that come up, so we don't worry about it. On that topic of fusion difficulty, we instead in Randovania we've split it up into fusion mode. So if you like killing the X parasites and the core X's after bosses, you can select that, and that gameplay mechanic will be in the game. But you can set your difficulty separate. So if you don't want it to be 4x, like the difficulty, you can play on normal, but with the fusion mechanics. So another reason to check us out. But with this, Gala is going to be heading to labs, probably heading down to the Omega hint. There's a hint in Bubble Lair, which I don't believe either runner's got, and that might be our last DNA, if we haven't already got the hint already and I just missed it. Another addition to Randovania is we have these shortcut pipes in the last half of the game to speed them up. The rooms are purple on the minimap, makes it really stand out. There's one here, and there's also one from Bubble Lair down to Hideout. Anything ever done with Metroid, or is that a little too tangled to do with an external randomizer? Yeah, so we have our own multi-world system within Randovania, so you can play with people playing different games, kind of like, you can play with someone playing Dread or Metroid Prime Echoes or any of that other stuff, but there's no plans from any of the people working on Randovania to get any sort of multi-troid support going. Not planned. So yeah, this is looking like it could be a 40-minute finish for Gala. That's very impressive. It's like 50 minutes is generally fast. Anything less than that is like super fast. On Herc's side, going to grab the mines Metroid. Has super missiles and is in the area, so is just going to do it now. Unfortunately, again, without that speed booster, is going to just be losing time running this way. That being said, it could easily be speed booster in here if we didn't have that information already. So doing this now is what it is, Sometimes, unfortunately, you just miss the route by just a tiny little hair, and that seems to be the case for this race. On that note, for our other racers, it looks like everyone is still in the game, so not sure where the other two are, but that's okay. We're focused on Herc and Gala. It is indeed spooky music. It's fitting, though. You're going to fight the big bad boss, and unfortunately missing it, the Queen Access Spark there. Saves us a little time. Health doesn't really matter. But yeah, not actually a ton of ammo on Gala's side for this, so is going to have to do some farming and possibly use some bomb strats. Has charge, has Ice Beam, has Plasma, so not the worst thing in the world to farm up on, but especially if you know the sweet spot for the blobs, you can get away with farming pretty easily here without Spazer. I thought I was going crazy for a second, but there is an ice cream truck outside. I went last week, so I'm not going to go this week. But yeah, I hear the little tunes playing in the background. Yes, the queen, she chases after you. If you're interested in, oh no, it's not. That's not the AM2R-RTV. There you go. Yeah, so you can come check us out. You can either watch us or come chat. There's a randomizer race. If that wasn't immediately obvious by the tracker. But yeah, playing on 1.55 version of AM2R. Gala here just about to finish off the queen. Very nicely done. Yeah, this is a quick one. And of course, Gala just so happened to route just about perfectly. But that's what practice gets you. I mean, Gala's been, I think, has the most weekly races participated in. Let's see here. Leaderboards real quick. Gala is in, this will be their 24th race with one of our other races, Words, at 23 just behind him. So, yeah, I mean, listen, practice. You gotta practice to get good at this. I was happy last week. I was able to, I pulled out, I think I was only a couple minutes behind Gala, so hey, not bad. Yes, Powerbombing Queen is a good option if you don't have bombs or if you're low on ammo, but yeah, it's really slow, especially with the cutscene. In an ideal world, what we like to do is lay a power bomb outside of Queen and then use missile spam on the head while she's like eating us and or attempting to, and that can usually end it before you even need to lay bombs inside the stomach. It's really fast, so we try to do that as much as possible. And with that, a 40-16 finish for Gala. GG's. Holy crap. That was fast. Can't get much faster, honestly. I missed Wave Beam in. Okay, Spazer was, yeah, not getting that. So yeah. Pretty much getting all the majors we were ever going to get. Wave Beam was accessible, but I guess Gala wasn't. Gala must have seen it, but didn't want it. Doesn't really do anything for us logically, so who cares? We got to go fast. So yeah, keep getting your support in for Herc. The race is not over yet. Gala may have finished in first, but we've still got 2 more racers. I guess three total more racers. It's probably the easiest way to explain that. So, we're still going. Going up to save. This is usually a good option. Oh, go down. One or the other. It can be a good option to save before going down into the destroyed section of the power plant, just because we can save warp out afterwards. But looks like he's going after the Zeta first, which I don't believe will get reward him with anything. Gala, welcome in. GG's.
Hi, thanks.
That was fast.
Yeah, yes, I'm happy with my routine.
Yeah, I mean, you couldn't ask for much of a better setup than going immediately from screw attack into speed booster.
Yeah,
Yeah, basically everything. Yeah, everything was on the route. It's like early bombs, supers wasn't too bad. It's like the free ice beam. Yeah, it was.
yeah,
You definitely put on a clinic with all the having access to so many movement options early. Really just pushed your lead.
yeah. And I actually got bombs very late because at the moment I got screw, I was like, okay, my spider sense tells me that bombs is at Golden Temple. That's
Yeah.
why when I get to Industrial Complex, I did nothing but take the teleporter and go to the temple.
Yeah.
And I miss with that the supers because
Yeah.
they were at Spacer.
Spazer. Yeah,
But
they
I
were right there.
think actually in my routine, it was a good thing that I didn't get them right now. Because of zetas of
Yeah. If you would have
lower
found him,
industrial complex.
yeah, if you found him early, it could have easily made you think that
Yeah,
that was the path to follow. Yeah, and bombs were behind the Zeta or an Omega somewhere, which would have been
but
bad.
I think that going to industrial complex the way I did with speed, I think it's not in logic, but I'm not sure.
I don't believe so. Yeah, so one of the main things that separated you two racing was Herc decided to go up
Yeah,
main caves first, and so missed screw attack till just about a few minutes ago, and looks like they missed the lower power plant for speed. So you having access to that for the entirety of the run just pushed your lead to a point that there's just not a lot of competing that can be done.
yeah, that's actually the the place, the safe play to do at the beginning, because actually at tower at the beginning you have like what, two checks.
Mhm.
The one tower east exterior and the one in power plant,
Yeah.
destroy the shafts. So yeah, it's a little gamble, but it the get back to start is quite quick. So yeah,
Yeah, it's really easy to go down there, and it's really slow to go up when you don't have any health or
yeah,
weapons. So taking, the maybe going down for the fewer checks is just a nicer play because of the speed at which you can do it. And I'm gonna pull up the database right now. I think I can't remember if it's going down this room or going up. Requires some items on beginner logic. So it might be possible that just going down at the start there was the only logical play.
yes, because if I remember correctly, last week, no, actually not
Similar
last
thing
week.
happened.
It was maybe with the pipe rondo, I can't remember, but we had a similar seed where we spawned at near the tower, but in those settings it was not in logic to go up. But yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know it in alternative settings.
yeah, because alternate we have. I think it's combat. Yeah, so there's no combat tricks on this preset, and um, you do need some weapons or screw attack to, or just some extra health would also do it to satisfy the climb in that room beside the save
Yeah,
station. So yeah, going down is the logically correct play.
yeah, because the enemies in the I don't know the names, but the ones that came from the wall deals 50 damage, so 2 hits and it's GG.
Yeah, and I think Herc did take one death. I think right at the beginning, just
Yeah.
trying to go fast as we do. So only 2 more DNA to clear up. I imagine he's got to be heading for the Gamma afterwards and isn't going to find Speed Booster at this point. The only other unfortunate thing is that he doesn't have a suit because you found it after Speed Booster, and I didn't lay eyes on where the second progressive suit was, but it could make the
Uh,
Queen fight considerably more difficult.
it's the second suit in the gravity area, so
Wow.
you have to commit for these checks.
Yeah, and that means you have to find the other one first.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's rough. Because yeah, fighting Queen without suits, while not impossible, with minimal E tanks, it can be quite dangerous. Which is why being able to, beat Queen with as low as percent as possible is very strong in these rando scenarios. Throwbacks to when I had to find plasma every seed, and I just kept losing races to that.
Yeah, and we get plasma really early in the seed. Can't remember where. Maybe I jump chamber.
High jump, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, makes the farming the blobs infinitely easier. And it looks like this is going to be a play for, yeah, labs in that Omega. Which hopefully Herc's been practicing Queen then. This is it's not the worst loadout, but it's pretty minimal.
Yeah, you at least want one suit to get comfortable and like maybe 6 tanks.
Yeah, 50% damage reduction is
Yeah,
nothing to shake your head at.
definitely.
That is quite important. Queen not too hard to dodge, but with race nerves and stuff going on, it's pretty easy to make a mistake, and they usually compound. Once you get hit once, Queen just kind of juggles you for a little while. Looks like Kirk's going for that angled shot. I still gotta learn how to do that. It's a pretty sweet shot to make. Let's grab that weak spot. Gonna have to be careful here though, taking some hits. Whew. Not even close.
Yes, same with Omegas. You suitless, you take like ton of damage.
Once you start getting a few E-tanks, the early mid-game enemies you kind of laugh at. They don't really hit you too hard anymore, but yeah, Omegas and Queen, you can kind of forget how strong they are. But with all 10 DNA in hand, Herc's likely going to be heading into labs. Looking at the race time room, all three of our remaining runners still chugging away. Nice Metroid room. Here it is, the moment of truth. I've got to imagine at this point, Meepian and Words are probably within vicinity of labs as well. Unfortunately standing not exactly in the perfect spot, but is getting the shots off at least. And playing it pretty safe with yeah, playing it pretty safe with the dodges, not trying to get in too many shots, really focusing on you know, bobbing and weaving. Which I think is definitely the correct option here. Fortunately, with the amount of ammo we have, we're really going to want to farm some supers for that last phase. It might be even worth waiting a couple phases to just get some ammo.
Yeah, I can also tell you the HP of the Queen. She likes got 10 supers and 9 bombs to be defeated in the last phase with the current loadout of ammunition.
Oh yes, you've got your tracker going.
Yeah.
Oof. Unfortunately, taking some big hits here. Yeah,
Oh.
that'll do it. Unfortunate. Yeah, this is where ammo management plays a huge role. Usually, yeah, taking some supers into that final phase is critical, just due to the complexity of having to deal with the attacks and the goo, as well as the floor goo. Yeah, you want to make sure that you can hit pretty hard and get through that phase quickly.
Yeah, actually, if you want to farm some ammunition, you probably want to do that in the corridor phases,
Yeah,
the 2 and 3.
yeah, it's it's slow, but it's dying is slow, as say. Yeah, gotta
Yeah, it's a safe farm.
yeah, it's like just take a couple seconds time loss, get your ammo count back up, get your health too if it's down. Yeah, unfortunately, this time around, not having as clean as a labs, taking a lot of Metroid damage here. Because yeah, oddly enough, these these Metroids aren't as easy to get off as you might think.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, they can be a pain. In the race time room, it looks like at 57 minutes, MEP finished in second place. So GG's there.
GG.
Yeah, this is a really unfortunate place to be in because you don't want to go and full clear the game pretty much looking for a little bit of combat requirements when with a good fight you can do this. So it can be really challenging in a race scenario to say, like, do you forfeit some more time and look for maybe a suit, or do you just give it another attempt and hope that this time you just play really well. Because Herc definitely showed that it's possible in the first round, and the corridor didn't get bullied by the queen there. So just needs to repeat that into that last phase. BP in chat, welcome in. Yeah, Herc entered queen at. This is his second attempt. He got all the way to the last phase, so. Okay, yeah. Yeah, Herc was doing pretty well on queen the first time. Just needs to manage ammo a little bit more. If we can hold on to some supers, that'd be perfect.
I can see how many supers? 8 or 3?
3.
Oh, 3, okay.
0 now. And yeah, one of the things that happened, you bring up missing speed, Herc decided to go up from the starting point instead of down immediately, so missed out on screw attack and speed. Probably just wasn't aware that the logic didn't want you to go up there. It's pretty, I guess, a unique start to say, hey, don't go back to early game, actually push farther into late game as the correct option. So kind of a weird one. So I can understand why it went that direction. Just unfortunate that that's how that worked out. Oh, nice. Nicely done. Yeah. Heck yeah. Yeah, because at this point it's pretty free. Yeah, you'd have to be really not paying attention to mess this up. And there we are. And like I said at the beginning of the race when I was on solo comms, finishing within like the hour mark is still fast for like the average racer and the average seed. So like Definitely no scoffing at this time. Don't let Gala's time put thoughts into your head that every seed should be 40 minutes long.
Yeah, and not every seed you get like true end speed in like the
Yeah.
first 2 minutes. So
Yeah. Yeah. Part of this is just like the rando really cooperating.
yeah.
But just some nice calming music as Herc makes the escape out of the Crystal Caverns now. Plasma was in high jump chamber. Yeah, if you grab bombs, because yeah, what was it? Both progressive jumps were pretty early. Even it's like Vario was early in Fat Croc Room. It's like if you knew where the items were, you could finish this seed very quickly. But with that, get your GGs in for Hercules bench press, finishing with a
GG.
time of 103.54. Heck yeah, and that's a third place finish. So Word's just finishing up some time now after. And Herc has been marked done on SG side, so we'll get him in for a quick interview coming up. Yeah, other SG things going on. Let's check the schedule. There's a bunch going on through all these weekends. Right now, there's Speed Gaming 5's got us. Whoops. Speed Gaming 2 is new Super Mario Bros. Wii Summer Tournament. Speed Gaming 1
Hello.
is Super Metroid 80% Tournament. Hello, Herc. Welcome in.
Hi.
GG's.
Yeah, GG. It was
GG.
fun.
Yeah, that was good. That was an impressive final fight with giving your loadout.
Yeah. Yeah. I kind of regret trying to get too cute the first time I fought the queen.
Yeah, the no suits 5E. That's about as low as you really want your health to be. Like that's you
Yeah.
have to be playing dang near perfect to get through that.
Well, I don't know. I felt like I was playing pretty well. I mean, the fight went really well the first few phases, and then I was like, I got about 60 missiles. I don't know why I didn't use them. I was like, I'll just start trying to land charge bombs on them, and there was no reason for me to do that.
Yeah, and once you start getting juggled by Queen, it kind of throws your rhythm off, and yeah, you get hit multiple times.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately,
I regret.
No, go ahead.
I kind of regret not going down to tower based on our starting location because I know that the one item was free and it ended up being screw attack. But I feel like if I had done that, I would have gone way off the path anyway. So I'm kind of glad I didn't go down.
Yeah, believe it or not, you did go way off the path for yours. The logic, there's combat logic in that second room there for climbing. That you need a certain amount of health to like get past those enemies or some weapon requirements. So the logical path was actually heading down into tower right off the bat.
I had a feeling it might have been because there's like that item, but then I'm like, there's more opportunity going up.
100%, and it's very counterintuitive to think I need to go deeper into the game than go to the previous areas where enemies are nicer and all the checks are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because
yeah,
Screw was early. You unfortunately missed Speed Booster, which was in the destroyed power plant. Yeah,
I almost went in there too. I was like,
And if you had taken the Speed Booster into the Fat Croc Room outside of tower, you would have got your first progressive suit, which has made the ending fight a lot easier. So those items were all right there, and based
Oh
on
well.
Gala's amazing time, routed pretty much perfectly the entire time, and
Mhm.
as well as having speed booster through the entire game really just like extends that lead.
Oh yeah, I saw Gala's time being like 40 minutes, and I was like, whoa. I was like,
What
they
they
obviously
accidentally
routed
hit
way better than me.
they accidentally hit the button, right? That can't be
Yeah.
true. And you and Meepy finished really close together. Apparently you
Like
were
5 minutes apart.
I think you were Meepy said you were entering the fight just as he was finishing. So I mean that's like right there pretty much.
Yeah.
And but yeah, I mean
If I hadn't messed up the fight the first time, it
mhm,
would have been a much closer finish. But I think it
yeah.
was,
I mean
you
still
know,
within an hour is
yeah.
that's a great time. We love to see that.
Especially for somebody who doesn't like. I don't play this all too often, and I don't like run the game, obviously. So
Yeah,
I'm
you don't
very
race.
happy with the time.
Like this is your second race that you've been a part of, I think. I don't know if you
Yeah.
participated in any of the casual races we've had on the side.
No, not really. I should definitely participate more, but I've done mostly just like multi-world stuff and just
Mhm.
kind of just on my own things like here and there.
Yeah, still very very competitive. I mean, getting third out of fourth is still and being within striking distance of second, no complaints. And I mean, like your general movement through the rest of the game was good. It was nice to see that even though Screw and Speed were right there, that you were able to keep playing and keep moving. There was nothing that was
Mhm.
really blocking you out from beating the game. So even though you missed some
Yeah.
like major items, just keeping moving was able to make up for some of that and keep a little bit of pace going.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like at the end of the day, I mean, regardless of, how you get there, there's going to be an alternate way to kind of get things done, and like Screw and your Speed would have been really nice. That would have been, I was honestly like, hey, like for the entirety of that run, I was like, man, I really wish I had Speed for some of these big rooms, but
Mhm.
I was like, oh well, as long as we
Yeah.
get to the end with a decent time and we're not like lost, like I'm happy with that.
Yeah, because all it's like rando can be rando sometimes, and you didn't know if Speed was locked behind itself somewhere in Area 3. It's like
Right.
it's totally possible. So it's like at a certain point you have to just go for the goal. And when you started heading towards that last Omega, it's like, oh, Herc's comfortable going for Queen now. So we're gonna see a good fight.
Yeah. I think it's the first time I've fought Queen suitless, so I'm like, how bad could it be? I'm sure it'll be fine.
I mean, if you dodge, it's perfect.
Yeah.
Perfectly
Yeah,
acceptable.
exactly. But yeah, I mean, like some of the hint locations, like Genesis, I was like, oh, I'm like, geez, I'm like, God, I'm like, I gotta find power bombs too. And I'm just thinking about it. I'm like, well, if Gala finished in 40, because I think at that point I was around 50 minutes in when I entered Tower for, I guess, the first time. I was like, obviously, like power bombs have got to be somewhere like easily accessible. Like I can't believe I can't imagine I missed it on all the way up on like the surface areas. Like it's got to be down here somewhere. I just got pretty lucky that I found it where I did.
Awesome. Well, thank you both for participating. I was glad to see there was a good amount of runners today. It was a good race to commentate. Any final thoughts from either of you?
Not from me.
Yeah, no, GG's.
Yeah, GG. Good job, Gala.
Yeah, GG to you.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for tuning in.